Hello everybody, it is Lapis Productions here.
Psych!
Yeah, sorry. It's just me, the crappy version. I'm sorry. But anyway, in this video I wanted to talk about something that it's been on my mind recently. And I just need to get it out there. And maybe this will become a series, a video series I might do. If everybody enjoys it, if everybody loves it, I'll keep doing it, But this is a story time video that I want to do, since I've had very interesting events in my life, and I just wanted to share them with my fellow peers out there. So some of these stories are gonna take place in my school, right? Two of my schools that I've went to, but we're just gonna focus on the first school that I utterly hate to this day, and I still hate every single one of these people that are not on the screen, but every staff there, I hated them. Well, except one dude. He was pretty cool. I liked him. He was my history teacher in 7th grade. He was great, dude. He was like the greatest guy, dude. But anyway, this happened the year I left that school, because I was pretty much done with that school at this point. So what had happened was it was, I think it was 2019, early 2019 I had left, and it was summer break. It was the day on summer break, and what had happened was I was so hyped, because what was going to happen, my class and I, we were all going to go outside, and it was field day, right? So what had happened was it was going to be field day. Everybody was going to go outside. Everybody was hyped. Everybody got like the day before. We were supposed to get like summer clothes and stuff and all that. And there's going to be drinks, food, party. It was going to be hype. Hey, guess what? I wasn't allowed to go. I wasn't allowed to go for something that I completed a year ago. So let's go in more detail about that, shall we? So I'm in the classroom, right, and I'm just like sitting there, cause I had a friend that brought drinks, right. Like, you either had the option to bring your own drinks or buy them, and God knows, me and my friend were too cheap to actually buy the drinks, so we're just like, I was gonna bring our own, right. So I'm sitting there all hyped, and I'm like, oh boy, we're gonna go outside. It's gonna be all day, right. So I hear the intercom go off. And it's the principal, and I always hated his voice. So what he does, and I almost literally got up in my seat and just. So what did I have? I got up out of my seat, right, and what had happened was he basically says, and over in the intercom, "Hey, who's ready for this field day summer break?" Everybody's hyped and all that. And so as soon as we start leaving, we're all lined up outside the back door, right, where we're going to go out to the back of the school where everything was going to take place, right. So we hear the intercom go off. Well, actually, no, I don't think it actually went off. I don't know. So I see the principal come up behind a whole bunch of these classes, right, with this, So let's go into detail about the other person that was there. I hated this woman. Everybody in the school hated this woman except the staff. Every student in that school hated this woman. Basically, what she was an old boomer that, if you were talking around here, she would just butt into the conversation, no matter what if it was something personal about your life. Mom and dad died? Oh no, lady's gonna yell at you for talking in the hall. She was basically a boomer. Nobody liked her except the staff. Nobody ever liked her. So it's the principal and her, right? So he has this list in his hand. And we're like, oh geez, no. So he calls up a whole bunch of these people, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? So he calls me, and I'm like, oh geez. So I go up and he says, oh, you guys have uncompleted assignments, you gotta stay in. And then I'm like, okay. And he says, as soon as you complete these assignments, you will be able to join your friends. Like, alright, I might not have that much, just like an assignment or two that I missed when I was absent. So I was like, alright, I was gonna get this done, not a big deal. So we go in the computer lab, right? where you go to finish your assignments, right? So we all go there. We all sit down, and he gives me my assignments, right? And it was like what 2 or 3 things I had missed when I was absent some of those times, and it was kind of my teacher's fault for not giving me the work, because usually when you come back, they usually give you the work to complete when you have your free time. You can be able to complete the work. So it's kind of teacher's fault I was there. So I'm working, right? I get finished with all my work, right? I go over it like 3 times, make sure I did everything right. They had to look over it as soon as you completed it, so I was like, I don't want to waste time. I want to make sure I get everything right on these assignments so I can hurry up and go outside. So I get done with my assignments, and I hand it in to the guy that is sitting at the other end of the room. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm done, and I checked everything over. Everything seems to be all right. So he checks everything over, and he's like, oh yeah, you got everything right. Just sit back down. I'm like, can I not go back outside? And he says, oh no, you gotta stay in here for the rest of the day. And I'm just sitting there. I'm just actually standing there, and I'm just staring at him like, you told us, the students, you told all of us that if we completed all of our work, we could be able to go outside, since the whole event lasted all day. So he's like, oh no, you can't. You can't do it. Sorry. So what he does, he gets one of the other boomer teachers in the room. Like, oh hey kids, you gotta go on this one website to do more work. Alright, lady, I was literally in here doing all the makeup work that I had left for the year, and you're telling me that I can't go out with my friends at field day, and after I completed all my work after there, you're telling me I can't go out there. And they're like, you gotta go on this one website and do more work. And I knew what this website was. It was one of those websites that the school made, because they were too dumb to find like an actual like website like Moby and Max or whatever. You know that. If you don't, you're dumb. But anyway, I'm kind of frustrated, right? And luckily for me, this was a gamer move. Earlier that morning, I knew something like this was going to happen, but I didn't know I wasn't going to be able to join my friends. So I had my phone, right? I brought my phone, and they were like, well, before when we got into the computer lab, they had told us to give us their phones. So I pull a gamer move, and I told them I didn't have my phone, because normally I never brought my phone to school ever. I never brought my phone to school ever. So I pulled a gamer move, and while I'm quote-unquote sitting there doing my work, right, I contact my uncle, and he basically, I texted him, well actually, no. Alright, what had happened was earlier that morning, he was at my house for some reason. I had to fix something. He was at my house, and he had known about the events and all that, and he knows about the school because one of his friends' daughters went to that school that I'm going to in this story. So what had happened was his friend's daughter left the school because of the staff was unfair and didn't treat her right? I contact my uncle. Well, I didn't call him, I texted him, and I had the phone on silent. You could not hear a thing. And I thought I wasn't going to get through to him. I thought, because the school had no service whatsoever. So I thought I was done for. I literally thought I wasn't going to be able to contact him. So I texted him, hey, the school did not let me do all this. And remind you, if you're thinking, oh, well, you're just being dumb. Maybe you had extra makeup work. No, there was a system in my school where they never made you work on a computer. What they did was if they had an assignment that you had to do on the computer that the day you missed, they would print out something on the computer and give it to you like a paper, right? Like they would print it out from like a website or something, and then you'd do it, right? That's what we did. But no, they didn't do it this time. So they made us all, work on the computers and all that. So like I said, I contacted my uncle. So like I said, thought I wasn't gonna get through to him because the school had no service. So I'm sitting there, accepted my fate, and I hear the intercom go off, and I'm like, oh my god, please be me, because a few times before, a few students got called out for probably the same reason, and I didn't blame them. And this time it wasn't anybody else; it was me. So what had happened was the intercom went off, and then the lady over the intercom saying, "Oh hey, he's getting picked up," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And it guys, you think winning a game on Fortnite or Apex Legends is a great feeling? You guys had no idea how good that felt to me to finally get out of that place. And remind you, I was in 7th grade when this happened. When I moved schools, the end of that summer, I had went to another school, and then I was in 8th grade. Now, I'm actually 15, and if you guys are wondering, oh, why aren't you in high school yet? Well, the same school I'm having a story about, they held me back a year for no exact reason, and I was doing fine, and they held me back. And their excuse was, oh yeah, you just started too late, apparently, which was stupid because I did well in every class. So why didn't I move up? But anyway, that's not the point. So they called me up there for my uncle to pick me up, right? And I got my stuff, and I'm ready to get out of that place, right? I'm ready to go. So I see him there. He's got his arms crossed. And when he usually has his arms crossed, he is not happy. And I knew he wasn't happy. I knew he was not happy at me. Okay, let me rephrase that. He was not happy at me. He was not angry at me. He was angry at the school. Because, yeah, same reason, I'm pretty sure. For the daughter thing, whatever. Anyway. So he's standing there, and he's like, oh, come on, let's go. It felt so great to get out of that place, and you guys have no idea what it felt like. It was sweet victory, dude. But, we're walking out the door, and I see his car, and I'm like, oh, jeez, you saved my life, dude. And remind you guys, this was the last time I ever went to that school. That was the last day I went there. No joke. Last day I went there. And I specifically remember it vividly, even. And we're getting in the car, right? He's driving me home and all that. And I think it was like 11 o'clock when this was going on. Maybe, I don't know. It was in the middle of the day, but we were driving out. He was driving me home. He was mad. And this actually might have not been the last day there. Because I remember he said I didn't have to go the last few days. There was like 2 or 3 days left, actually. And they were all fun days, so I didn't have to go. So I'm like, oh my god, thank you, dude. And that was the last day I ever went to that pitiful school, dude. I hated that place so much. Not even the staff was awful. The people, like, I've met some pretty cool people at school. Pretty good friends. But one I really hated. Like, a few of them I really hated. And that's a story time for another time. But dude, when I got home, I was so happy. I was literally jumping in joy that I didn't have to be in that place anymore. And I could finally just play Xbox with my friends all day. It felt so great. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, guys. You guys think I'm over-exaggerating about this. I hated that place. I did not want to be in that school anymore. I literally hated that place so much. You guys like have no idea what it feels like. Probably, if you guys do, then you know what I'm talking about. Well, summer was fantastic, dude. Summer was great. Um, Remind you, this was 2019, like early 2019. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like early 2019. And yeah, I was psyched, dude. I was like so happy that day. And remind you, I never went back to that school, and I'm never going back to that school because I hate it. I literally hated it. So I hated the staff so much. I hated everybody there. Few people I liked. My 7th grade history teacher was a great dude. But yeah, that's my story time for now. Um, Put down in the comment section what story you want to hear out of me, or what do you want in general. Put it down in the comment section. Make sure y'all like and subscribe if y'all enjoyed this, and put in the comment section below if you want me to keep doing these story times videos or not, so I know if you guys like them. So I hope you guys like this video. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next story time video. And here comes the outro, if I ever put one in.